absolutely love receiving NDA packages. Huge shout out to Squarespace, by the way, for sponsoring this video. And hey guys, how are you all doing? My name is Alex. I have had the Wave 1 from Elgato in my space now for around a week. And yeah, we're gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna talk about the things that I really like about it, the things that I don't like about it, its accessories, the software, which is a huge deal, and then we're gonna compare it to some other USB and XLR microphones. So let's do this. Okay, so I want to try and cover everything in this video. Gonna make it quick. Let's start out by talking about what you get in the box. Now, essentially top quality presentation from Elgato here as far as the unboxing is concerned. Very clean, very tidy. You get a nice long USB to USB-C cable. As well as that, you get a little adapter for if you want to take this thing off its included little mount and put it on a boom arm, for example. And then obviously you get the microphone itself, which, like I mentioned, it comes with this little stand, which is actually made out of metal, which is nice to see. Now, I would like to fully disclose that Elgato have sent me everything you have seen in this video, but that is not going to sway or alter my opinions, which I'm going to give you. These are my full raw thoughts of this entire system. Now, these are just some optional extras that you can also buy. There is a shock mount, which essentially is a shock mount for the microphone. You can mount it on its original stand with this shock mount, and essentially all it does is absorb shocks. And then the next accessory is this removable pop filter, and all of my testing has been done with these accessories, just so you are aware of that. Now, the microphone will work entirely fine without the accessories. They're just almost, if you like, bonuses. A pop filter essentially gets rid of the harsh P's in your voice and tones them down a little bit, and the shock mount is just to reduce vibration going into the microphone. But without them both, you should be fine anyway. Now, back to the microphone itself. I really like the design of this. It's a lot smaller than what I had first seen throughout the promotional material, and I really actually kind of like the build quality, even though it's plastic. Yeah, the thing is made to look like metal. I'm okay with that. I'm really not fussed. To be honest, the actual shell that surrounds the microphone, the mesh shell, that is a fully metal shell, and it also does have a lovely little Elgato logo inside there. Again, they haven't gone too heavy on the branding with this, which I kind of like. Now, I think it's about time to throw out there that this microphone, as reviewed on the table right now, the Wave 1, starts at £129 here in the UK, and I think $129 too, so bear that in mind as to when I'm complaining about certain things. This being made out of plastic isn't really that much of a big deal because of that price tag. If this was a $200 mic, then fair play, but this thing, I think it's really good for the money. If you turn the microphone around, you can see that USB-C port for connecting this thing to your PC or Mac, and then next to that we have a 3.5mm headphone output. This is going to become really useful later, and if you didn't know already, a big deal as to why you're probably going to buy this microphone, but more on that later. Back to the front, the Wave 1 keeps things really simple with a single button dial on the front. Click it once, it's going to mute and unmute the microphone. If you turn that dial, it's simply going to adjust the gain of that headphone port on the back. So when you've got your headphones plugged into them, it's essentially the volume for your headphones. Again, more on all of that later. Now, a lot of you will be aware that there's two versions of this microphone. There's the Wave 1 that we have here, and they also make the Wave 3. Now, we're going to quickly run through those differences for you. Now, a few of you may have noticed that there's two different types of this microphone, the Wave 3 and the Wave 1 that we have here. The main differences are that the mute button on the Wave 3 is on top of the microphone instead of it being this little clicky button here, and instead on the Wave 3, this clicky button actually cycles through a couple of different modes, allowing you to either adjust the gain of your headphones like you can on this one, or change it so the gain of the microphone is adjusted when you twist the knob, or it actually mixes in the microphone to the headphone output so you can monitor yourself. But I should also note that all of those changes can be made to this microphone, but only in the software. Another main difference as well is that the Wave 3 can record 96 kilohertz, whereas this one, the Wave 1, can only record 48. Now you guys will be thinking, oh my god, the Wave 3 is so much better because it's literally double the sample rate. And I have to stop you there, not really, because let's say if you're using this for streaming, most streaming softwares like OBS cap out at 48 hertz anyway. It's more than enough, and you only really need that 96 if you're in a professional studio. Trust me on that. So on the surface, everything seems pretty cushy. I mean, it's a nice, well-built, small form factor microphone that simply plugs into your computer, plug and play. So Alex, you plug it in and off you go. I've got great audio, is that it? And no, like I mentioned, there's some software that comes with this microphone that is half the reason as to why you would actually 75% the reason as to why you should be thinking about this microphone. And we're going to jump onto the software a little bit later so we can go through all those cool features. But for now, I want to do some audio tests directly between this, some other USB mics like the NT USB from Rode, and then some XLR microphones too, so you guys can really hear the difference. So let's go and do those now. Okay, so this whole setup is a little bit messy, but hopefully it's going to prove a point. So you guys are going to see what microphone is currently being used down here in the bottom corner. We're currently listening to the Elgato Wave. I'm going to swap it out and we're going to do a few keyboard tests live here so you can see the difference. What I'm going to now do is bring in the Rode NT USB, which is another microphone recording via USB. Now, as you can hear, I'm now talking into both of the microphones and it's switching between these two microphones, so you can tell me down in the comments which one you think is slightly more clear, better, and or worse. I'll leave it up to you to decide. And just for the sake of doing it, I'm going to type on the keyboard here. So hello, my name is Alexander, and this is a test of both of these microphones. You are now listening to the NT USB. You are now listening to the Wave 1. Okay, let's switch this out for an XLR microphone. Okay, so you're currently listening to me on the Audio-Technica P48. This is a mid-range XLR microphone, and I'll just add as well, we are also recording the XLR mics into the Zoom Pocket Recorder, so hopefully it's sounding pretty good. Now back over to the Wave 1. Now you can hear me on the Wave. It sounds pretty good, I hope, and now we're back to XLR again. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. What's the difference between USB and XLR? Again, keyboard test. You are now listening to me through XLR. You are now listening to me through the Wave 1. Okay, so this microphone here, this next XLR microphone, is by a company called AKG. It's that much of a special microphone. It came in its own box. It's really, really expensive. So you're now listening to me on the £100 Wave 1. And you are now listening to me on the AKG XLR microphone. Now back to the Wave 1, and now to the XLR AKG microphone. What do you think's better? Let me know in the comments below. And again, quick keyboard test. Wave 1, what does it sound like? XLR, what does it sound like? And there you have it. That's your sound test. Please let me know in the comments what mic you think won. So there you have it. As far as sound quality is concerned, I mean, this little Wave 1 really, really holds its own. Super, super impressed. Now, I want to get to the first thing that I wasn't actually too impressed with when I was setting this microphone up for the first time, and that was when I actually tried to attach it to my boom pole arm. Now, as you can see, with the Wave 1 on my boom pole, it's actually pointing the wrong way. Like, the microphone isn't looking as to where my voice is actually going to be sat on the desk. Whereas if you switch to my old XLR microphone, look how this was set up. The actual capsule faces where my voice is going to be, where my mouth is going to sit when I'm sat at my desk. I'm not sure why Elgato haven't thought of this, but they should include a little adapter so you can switch it round and change it so it's like that. Really weird. But on a reel so far, that is the only thing that I have found about this microphone to complain about. That is me really nitpicking, and it's the only thing that I can find to complain about. I love this thing. I think it's absolutely great. But to even drill that fact home a little bit more, I'm gonna go back to the computer and show you guys the software, because this is where it gets cool. So I would like to preface this little demonstration of the Wavelink software that all of the audio recorded in this section of the video is coming from the Wave 1. So just bear that in mind. Now, like I mentioned, this software is the main reason as to why a lot of people are going to be purchasing this microphone, and I'm going to explain why. So as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs here. You can actually add up to 9 inputs, and we've got 2 outputs here at the bottom: monitor mix and stream mix. Now, for me to explain how this works, we need to set it up. Now, you can be as extensive as you want with this, or do it really simply like I'm going to in this demonstration. So we're going to click up here, and this handy button is going to open up this, which is our Windows volume management. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is use Spotify as an example here, and I'm going to go ahead and change the Spotify output to Wavelink Music. Now, as you can see, now I've done that, these music bars here are now lighting up nice and green because these are now receiving the signal from Spotify. So now essentially, if you were going to set this up and work it in your own life, you would go back into here and you would tie things like, I don't know, let's say Skype or Discord to the voice chat option. You could tie your browser to the browser option, and you would tie your game to the game option. You can make as many as you want. But for this example, you can see that we've set up the music, so our Spotify is in here, and now we have these 2 volume controls for Spotify individually, right? So essentially what this is going to do is this headphone one here, as I pull this up and down, is actually going to alter the volume of the Spotify only stream throughout the headphones in the back of this microphone. And now this one here, the little person with the radio head, if we go ahead and alter the volume on that, that is going to alter the Spotify only volume for our stream mix. So the stream that's going to our stream, the stream of audio that's simply going to our stream. Now, if you can already figure out how you can implement this into your life or your setup, you will already know how powerful this tool is. If you haven't quite figured it out already yet, it's essentially a tool that allows you to individually control, monitor, and output different programs' audio sources through different levels out of different inputs. So you can have your own input for your stream and your own output for your headphones. That way, for example, if you wanted to, you could have your Discord chat running through your Twitch stream, and then you could turn the volume of it up or down or mute it individually and not affect any of these other channels that you've got going on. There's even a little button here, which if you click it, it'll go ahead and tie both the levels together, and it even keeps the percentage gap in between. Now, just for demo's sake, you can see we've got the music from Spotify going out to both of our monitor mix and stream mix. But if I was to turn the Spotify down on the stream side, you can see that our level actually reduces over here. Vice versa, if I turn it up there and turn it down in the headphones, the Spotify is now going to decrease in volume in my headphones, but will still be out full whack for our stream here. And then there's this handy little button for whatever one you click on, this will actually go out to your headphones. So if you quickly wanted to see, oh, and I want to hear what the stream's hearing, you can click that, and then out your headphones will play the stream audio and not the headphone audio. You put it back on the headphone audio, and then you've got your own headphone mix. So essentially, this is a mixing deck, a virtual mixing deck for your individual programs on your computer that you can separate out into these channels. Like I mentioned, super, super cool, and I think it's what sets this microphone apart from other microphones. And no, this software does not work by itself. You have to have this microphone attached to your computer for the software to work. But that is why this is great. How cool is that software, right? It works really, really well, and I think for people who are streaming or trying to mix audio, I think that is really, really invaluable, and why a lot of people are going to go ahead and actually buy this microphone just because of that software that it comes with. And the great thing about that being software is the fact that Elgato can always give you updates and can always supply updates, so they can add certain features to this in the future, which will make it far superior to other systems like the Go XLR, for example, where you have the same physical control, but the controls are physical on a board, so software can't be updated. Honestly, I think this is a great device, and other than the mounting hardware, which is the only thing I can fault here, I think this is a great microphone, and I think anybody should get it. But for now, we need to thank our sponsor, Squarespace. If you guys don't know about Squarespace, they are the online website where you guys can go to essentially create your own website. So whether your wedding is coming up and you're wanting to make a website surrounding your wedding, or you wanting to make your own shop and actually sell things online, Squarespace have got every single tool to make that possible for you today. They've got thousands of templates for you guys to choose one. So you essentially choose a template, upload all of your own images. It's so simple and hassle-free, and then it's all done. You can even secure your domain with Squarespace. And if you don't know what a domain is, it's essentially www.yourname.co.uk or .com or whatever you want it to be. Honestly, the process of making a website from start to finish is all taken care of by Squarespace. And if you guys want to get 10% off your first Squarespace purchase or domain, use code TechFlow or go to squarespace.com/TechFlow. But with that being said, guys, that's my review of the Elgato Wave, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Adios.